Hey, how's it going, Peter? Thank you for being first here. It's nice to have somebody waiting for you, right? Only one person in here so far. And now it feels kind of weird because I'm so used to the I lost my mind already. The StreamYard chat we had on your live stream. So now I'm expecting that second voice to come through. It's way more fun doing it the way we did it earlier, right? Maybe there's only so much, Jen, that can be tolerated in a single day. There I go again. There's that negative voice that we're trying to eliminate from my vocabulary. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Thanks for joining. 2 people. That's huge. I consider that a huge group of people. I'm just leaning down to get my little plan that I put together for this live stream. I identify as a kind of organized person, and I used to pride myself on that. It used to be part of my identity, and that got eliminated from my identity a while back when I had my little midlife breakdown when I ended up going off work. That organized part of me seemed to die a death with it. So I've been trying to incorporate my organized behavior back into my life. And part of that is making these collection of worksheets. I have a huge collection of worksheets now. This one that you are seeing is my weekly live stream planner. And it starts off with a checklist. Well, first of all, it has the date, of course, and the theme or focus of the live stream. And then a little pre-stream checklist with little checky boxes. And then a whole structure of what I should be doing, which I never stick to. But this makes me feel like a little bit more of the old Jen being organized like this. And I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it as a win, the fact that I'm still trying to be organized, because I think that's important, right? If people show up to your live stream, then they should know that they're worth effort. They're worth some effort before they actually get here. And I see movement on the screen, and I am so grateful that people showed up for this after already having an hour of me on Peter's live stream. So let's have a look who's shown up here. Peter, of course, thank you for being first. Then Mike jumped in pretty quickly. How's it going? Mike saying, LOL, I need more Jen. Thank you. Careful what you wish for, Mike. Pam's back again. Hey again, Pam. Thanks for joining. Are you making dinner or something, Pam? I know time, you're a couple of hours, I believe, maybe 1 hour different to the EST time zone. Who else is here? Daryl's here. How's it going, Daryl? Sally, you here too? Yes, you are. Hey, Sally. Peter and I had a chat this morning before his live stream, and we talked about bringing our therapy dogs on screen because everybody needs a therapy dog. No, Chewy, don't leave, Mummy. So here he is. I've got a little blankie on my lap so he can lie down when he gets tired of me. Laurie, hey, thanks for coming in. I know you didn't get back home that long ago, so thanks for listening in while you may be making dinner or something. That's what I like doing. I like listening to live streams when I'm doing something boring. It's awesome. Peter's saying, when you left your previous employment, is that when you switched to gym wine? Inside joke. Everyone here has to watch the replay of Peter's live stream to understand that term, that reference to gym wine. Well, when I was in my previous employment, I didn't have time to get any wine because I was at work all the time. But yes, it was a bit of an inside joke with some of my co-workers. They used to just go home and eat cheesies and drink wine. Fun times. Who else we got here? You know what? We've got some amazing people here, and I am just so happy already that you all joined. No one else has to come. So many cool kids here. And yes, Peter's saying that I got to see Coco in a natural setting today. Yeah, Coco lying on the floor in Peter's house like she owns it. And she does own it. Dogs own the roost. Pam is making dinner. Yay, I did read your mind. That's what we do, right? We make dinner. Laurie saying that she's actually putting her planters together. There you go. Productivity, listening to YouTube and being productive. That's awesome. Yes, you were saying on your live stream that you got some good deals at Costco yesterday. Two of my favorite things, gardening and Jen. Oh, thanks, Laurie. Yeah, Chewy and Coco. Yeah, they do look similar. They're just white balls of fluff. I know. Mommy does love you. No, 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 gross. Gross, gross, gross. No licking, mommy. No licking, mommy. You lie down? I know. This is technical difficult. They say don't work with pets, right? Don't work with animals. And here I am working with animals, shamelessly using him to get more views. Right. As I alluded to at the end of Peter's live stream, today on my live, my theme is talking a little bit about ADHD struggles, not just the like inattention and focus issues that are associated with ADHD, but some of the other quirks that we have that tend to slow us down, put more friction into things, and give us a whole host of reasons not to do things. And one of those things, which Pam was very familiar with, something called rejection sensitive dysphoria, or RSD. And the reason that this came to mind is because my weekly live stream planner lists all these things for me to do. Two of those things are talk about the last video that I posted and talk about the upcoming video that I'm going to post. Well, there is no last video that I did. I haven't done a video since my kayak one, and I think we've talked that one to death. And my next video is still not done. So I have 2 videos planned. I have them in a beautiful, oh, Chewy, don't vomit on me. That would not be fun. 2 videos in my YouTube video planner. So I have like a whole setup where I talk about the video idea, where it came from, what references I've got for it, where I got my idea, thumbnail ideas for that specific video, description ideas. It's really quite impressive, but it's not impressive when you don't actually take it through to completion. And I know that it's the same ADHD struggles that have kicked in my entire life, stopping me from getting through the finish line. That said, one thing I'm really not happy about is me not blaming, but assigning everything in my life that's like annoying, frustrating, and negative to ADHD. Because at the end of the day, ADHD shouldn't define me. It's just part of me, part of what makes me who I am. And I'm learning to like that person a little bit more. And what I found recently, which has really inspired me to do better, try and take more agency over ADHD, is this beautiful ladder of accountability. Brooke Sears, a YouTube creator, who's like a more of an entrepreneur, build a business and be an entrepreneur through YouTube. She was the one who referenced that list. And it's just a different group of beliefs that people have that either take them further towards their goal or move them away from the goal. And taking accountability and having agency for things in your life moves you towards a goal. And successful people take accountability and agency for everything that's in their life. So yes, I have ADHD. I can't take medication for it because I also have a bipolar diagnosis, which means I can't take those stimulant medications. And on top of that, my heart no longer reacts well to stimulant medications for ADHD. So I have to get a whole new bunch of strategies to try and manage it. Peter did have a question about that, about if there was one thing, is there one thing that you do to ease the symptoms or to work with ADHD that might help someone else? And the answer is, it's not an easy question, is it? Um, I am becoming more and more aware of my reactions and my behaviors. And I believe that is a really good way to work with ADHD. So when something happens that triggers me or sends me in a spiral, I'm actually getting very good at breaking that cycle and asking myself, where is this behavior coming from? And that actually takes you a little bit out of the spiral. So you can try and identify the situation that happened. And then that kind of stops your brain from going into the fight, flight, freeze cycle that we often find ourselves in when we're emotionally dysregulated. So just being curious and being aware and accepting that part of you, that would be something that I do to work with my ADHD. Not a medication. Nothing stops these crazy thoughts that go through the head. Nothing stops the ping, ping, ping of like constant interruptions, interrupting yourself constantly. It's like, it is not a fun experience to have, but it does make us entertaining. Everybody's saying hi. That's good. Mike likes the puppy. I know he's not really cooperating very well, is he? Oh, thanks, Peter, for asking people to hit the like. I have one like. I should go into my other channel and like myself. Validation from others, that's another bad thing that's common with ADHD. We get very frustrated with ourselves, especially if you've had ADHD for a long time and you've gone through the school system with ADHD and you're told that you're a dreamer and that you don't get your work done and that you could do better. All those things really sit with you and amplify as you get older. And squirrel, that leads us to having very negative thoughts about ourselves. So can't remember where that went. Yes. When we feel bad about ourselves, we tend to look for validation on the outside, and we know that getting validation from the outside is not a good idea. Something's swimming in my head. Let me see if I can access it. I spend a lot of time researching this, and there's so much information up there. And I'm just gonna have to drop that whole thought because it's just leading me down a bad path. Kelly's here. Hey Kelly, how's it going? Now we get all the hey, how are you? But we all say hi to each other. You guys can chat amongst yourself while I get my act together. Today, Kelly, I'm going to be talking a little bit about ADHD and something called rejection sensitive dysphoria that has kind of really put the brakes on me recording and releasing a video. So I've got two ideas in the hold right now that are pretty much ready to record, and I'm just not recording them. So why don't I just get on with it and talk about what rejection sensitive dysphoria is for those of you who are not Pam or myself, because we're both very familiar with it. Hey Yvonne, how is it going? Thanks for jumping on. I appreciate it. Mike's saying he likes Adderall. We've been through all the stimulants in this family. They are life-changing when you first take them. When you first take a stimulant and you try and do something productive and it actually happens, oh, that is a fun day, followed by a little bit of frustration that for 40 years you've been swimming around not doing anything or really struggling to produce anything, and then you take a pill and everything changes. Yeah. Peter's saying, is ADHD different in males and females? Does it affect different genders differently? I am going to say yes. I believe it does affect different genders definitely. Chewy, you're driving mummy bonkers. Get down. Down you get. Come lie in your bed. Sorry, guys. Come on, in your bed. Go on, in your bed. Good boy. Up you get. Okay, back to it. Yes, I believe in boys, the hyperactivity side of ADHD is more prevalent, and in girls, the inattentive, the ADD, attention deficit disorder, is describes more of the symptoms, but don't quote me on that. It's not something I like to speak to 100% because I don't retain that. That kind of information goes in and out. Thanks, Sally, for asking about the kids. That's really sweet. The kids are good. Well, I shouldn't talk too much about them. I need a lesson from Pam. You're really good about not talking too much about the kids on the channel. But my 16-year-old son is in his last couple of weeks of high school for grade 10. So he's looking forward to his summer break and he's desperate to open the pool. So we're working on that. I took him to the gym after school today, and I did not acquire wine there, despite what is being brought up in the chat, Peter. And my daughter is all finished college. She did a 1-year diploma in college. She's all done. She doesn't know what she's going to do. She doesn't know where she wants to work. Doesn't know if she's going to go back to college. And she is very different to me. And I'm just trying to be the best parent I can be and try and be supportive of who she is, but also prepare her for the real world where you can't just not get a job and not do full-time education. So parenting is tough, but she's going to be fine. We're working with her. So thanks, Sal. Anything else before I start reading this nonsense? Yvette's here. Hey, Yvette. Yvette is declutterist there. Did you hear me? I'm sure you probably heard me talking about me getting wine at the gym. That's not true. I took my son to the gym today. You jumped in on a good time, actually, because we're going to talk about ADHD and rejection sensitive dysphoria. So that's awesome. So Yvette's saying, I'm not sure when or if to introduce my son to medication, but I figure there must be an optimal age. From my recollection of the discussions I had with the pediatrician, the best age to put the kids on medication is when they're starting to notice they're different from their peers. Once they recognize that difference and they start to internalize there is something wrong with me, the damage that's caused by that feeling is supposed to be, the cost benefit analysis of taking, or a risk benefit analysis of taking medication versus the damage that's caused by not being able to keep up with your peers because your brain is not functioning the same way. I don't think that applies in your case because you don't have your kids in the school system, correct? You decided to homeschool and they're spending a lot of time with you and you're on top of all of this. So I don't really think this is just my humble opinion, not medical advice. That's why I've got a disclaimer on my channel description. I would hold off putting them on medication unless you see them struggling with who they are. It's not an easy path, Yvette. My kids they believe, both of them, that without their ADHD medicine, they're not good citizens, they're not good people. And there is nothing that I can say to make them feel otherwise. I just try and love them the best I can, inform them the best I can, explain why they're on medication, which is really just so they can get through the school system and just love them to death, and then just keep learning and keep trying to do better. We have Ali G in the house. Oh, Ali G. Is it me or does Jen have the most beautiful smile? This is my manic, hyperactive bipolar smile. No. This is me. I love this YouTube thing. I have never felt so much like myself. And when it really struck me today is when I was chatting with Peter on WhatsApp. I was talking the exact same that I'm talking now. Compare that to when I want to record a video. I don't know who that person is. I try and bring myself out, but it's not quite the same. And then the me that's out in public, that person is not really the real me. So this smile is just like, oh, I can be myself. And people are showing up for the real me. That's freaking amazing. Thank you, Ali G. Oh, sounds like me. You're right, Ali. I don't know, Ali. Have you seen Peter's? Oh, that sounds interesting. Yvette's saying that that's very profound advice. It's just my truth. You asked that question about the best time to put your kids on medication, and the last 15 years of my life flashes through my head. Oh, some not very nice situations to be in. But I am happy to say that I did my best. And I'm still trying to do my best. And I know you are too. And you are way ahead of where I was in terms of understanding this whole thing and self-awareness than I was back when my kids were young. Alice saying I got diagnosed with ADHD at the tender age of 10. I did not do medicine. I did focus-based exercise, meditation, and video games, which helped me focus. Yeah. Anything you can do, right? Everybody's different. There's no right or wrong answer in life. You just got to do what feels right for you. Only you know you. With my daughter, I don't regret the medication because she lost a whole year at school and she's bright and there is no learning disability or anything going on with her, but she almost failed like grade, I don't know, grade 3 or something. She couldn't bring herself to do anything. She just shut herself off completely. And that causes a lot of damage when you're that person in the classroom. And when she went on medication, there was a big difference. Do I hate medication? Yes, I hate medication. Do I hate the way they feel about it now? Oh, yeah, because I'm the one who fills her prescriptions and gives it to them. It doesn't feel good. Video games help with everything. That's what Peter says. Your face is the best. I promise I'm going to read this ADHD thing. Just let me finish this. Yvonne's saying, you're awesome, Jen. When I do my videos, I just do them. I don't listen to myself because I will be very critical. Well, that's some self-awareness there, Yvonne. You know how you're going to feel looking back at it, so you don't. I am full on trying to immerse myself in self-awareness and understanding where these thoughts are coming from because I'm done with them. I want to move on. I want to process them and I want to care less about a lot of things and I want to care more about other things. So I want to care less about work. I want to care less about what other people think. I want to care less about things I can't control. And I want to care more about other people. And I want to care more about me and who I am. And just making the most impact I can make. Positive impact, not negative. So I'm just going to read out what rejection sensitive dysphoria is, because I said that's what I would do. Rejection sensitive dysphoria is a term used to describe the intense emotional pain triggered by the perception, not necessarily the reality, of being rejected, criticized, or failing to meet expectation. For those with ADHD, the brain's difficulty with emotional regulation can make those feelings feel physically overwhelming. They can be described as like a stab to the chest or an instantaneous emotional crash. It sounds like what a lot of us experience. If we feel that we're being rejected, it doesn't feel good. But paired with the emotional dysregulation of ADHD, because the executive function in the brain is not the same, and you get a really overemphasized reaction to things. So what does this look like in day-to-day life? It happens to me all the time. So let's talk about yesterday when this happened. Mother's Day, everything's going well. One of my kids says something to the other one, gives them a bit of attitude, and the other one comes back and says, "You're a loser. You're the worst. You're ruining mom's Mother's Day." And I interpret that as I'm a failure as a mom. And I think we all like kind of feel those things. But I went from being happy and completely fine to having to lie down, like nausea, so defeated, so down and sad that I literally couldn't process. My body just went into a total like fawn response. And what I do in those times is I just have to lie in bed. I try not to pull the covers over my head because I want to move on, but I am unable to function. And that is such a disappointing feeling. It shouldn't be that way. If I didn't have that feeling, if I wasn't in my own body at that time, I would want to slap that person and tell them to pull themselves together. This is just a thought and an emotion. You can move on. I've made videos on my channel about how to move on, how to surrender to the feeling and get yourself back in your body and accept the moment. But remembering about this rejection sensitive dysphoria and what it can do to you, it helps me. It's just being aware of what's happening in my body and knowing that it's a transient thing. And rejection sensitive dysphoria, it is not like a long-term feeling. It's like a really emphasized response followed by a fairly quick recovery period. And that's what happened yesterday. Felt sick, nauseous, dizzy, shutting down, just got myself up, went upstairs, lay in my bed. 20 minutes later, I was able to get grounded again, release that feeling, and move forward with my day. So anybody can Google RSD and what that does to you. If you want me to put some information on the description for the channel, let me know and I will. But these kind of information, it's not difficult to get. It's just how we choose to use our time. Do we want to read up on this or do we not? Because there's so many things that we want to do in life, right? I'm going to catch up with the chat a little bit. Alice saying, you should all do that. Why are you waiting? Care less, be more. If you have one foot in the future and one foot in the past, well, you are pissing on the present. That is so true. Very true. Wise words, Ali. And sounds very much what I tell myself every day. I'm taking accountability for the fact that I am the one who continuously puts myself back into that situation because I want it to. It's got to change. It's got to change. I'm taking agency and accountability for my own life, and part of that is continuing to push forward in all circumstances. Peter saying, care less, create more lives. Create more. Live each day like it's the last day because we never know when it will be. Live life with no regrets. Yeah. Like living life in the moment is like an amazing thing, isn't it? And I find myself doing that more. I was walking today and my husband's talking to me and my brain is like, squirrel, squirrel, look at the tree, look at the floor. What's going on over there? What's for dinner tomorrow? And I actually recognized it and stopped and I had to look at his lips moving to bring myself in the moment just so I could be there with him and yeah, just try and get back on track with the life that I want to live. 9 people still here. All my favorites, right? So the next thing in my agenda here is creator spotlight. And this one was hard to do because there are so many people that I watch. I don't even remember all the people that I watch. And people have so much wisdom and give so much information. It's so helpful. And I find myself flitting around, writing things down, writing resources. And the truth is, everybody that I watch, because I don't watch um a lot. I don't watch all creators. I just watch the people that resonate with me or who I think provide value to my life. So everyone in this group here, I watch your videos, I watch your channels. Not always too good at commenting, but um, I did want to mention a couple of channels here for people who are not in the chat right now. These are different creators you might want to check out. One of them is Dr. Kim Foster. So she is a doctor, an MD, family doctor, who retired from clinical practice to what does she do? She is more of like a life coach, but she also helps people start their own businesses in things that they love. And most of the people here know that that's something I really want to do. I really want to use my experience and knowledge to start a business. And I'm running into a whole boatload of self doubt that's kind of keeping me a little stuck. So, Dr. Kim Foster does a really good job of helping us ask ourselves why. Why are you thinking that? What is stopping you? Recognize it, take accountability, and move past it. So that has been a really helpful thing for me this week. There was a channel that I don't even know. I don't even know who it was who recommended this book to me, but someone along the way recommended a book called The Four Agreements. I instantly got it on Audible, and my understanding of it is it helps us to take our own perspective and live by that and really let go of other people around us and help us with like people pleasing. And what else did I write here? Yeah, it helps us to not take things personally. Now, Ali, I don't think you don't strike me as the kind of person who would take things personally. I think I would learn a lot from you. And actually, the people closest to me, my closest friends, are actually all very strong, very powerful, not ADHD women who are just so powerful. I love those kinds of people who really know themselves. And Ali, that's the that's the kind of person you strike me as. You know what you want. You don't take any BS. You just get on with things, and I love it. I love it. I learn a lot from you. What do we have here? Ali's saying, so do you have a guest room? When can I come visit? Are you serious? Don't mess with me. I don't have a guest. Well, I guess we can figure out a guest room here. I have a cottage up north of here in Whitney, Ontario. So it is just outside of a big provincial park called Algonquin Provincial Park. And it's not fancy, but it's ours. And it sits there empty until we go up there. We don't rent it out. We just go and stay there when we want to. And I don't know how the fishing is there. We fished there. We've caught little fishies there. Sorry, I don't know which ones. They were like fishes. And there's a little stream down by the bottom. It's not a stream, it's a river. You can catch fish in there. And yeah, there's like so many places there that you would probably really enjoy. Very different to where you are in Florida, right? So yeah, if you did come and visit, that's where we'd be, Ali G. We'd be at the cottage. Kelly's still here and listening. Yeah, you know what? I think 6 p.m. is a really good time for live streams because you can justify listening because you got to do something anyway. And only 3 likes. Come on, guys. I really think these comments that I'm getting here, they have to do something for the YouTube algorithm. Like people are actually giving a crap about what you're talking about. But yeah, if you could press like, I would really appreciate it. Rachel's here. Late again. Yay. We were just talking about ADHD, Rachel. And the quirks that come along with ADHD. The one I was talking about was rejection sensitive dysphoria, where you can like look at someone and if the look on their face isn't interpreted correctly, you clearly did something wrong and you're a complete failure and you don't deserve to live. Rejection sensitivity, overreaction. But another big one is time blindness. Sound familiar, Rachel? Yes, time blindness. Uh, you get used to it. It's another one of these attributes of ADHD that I feel like I constantly have to explain to people in my circle who don't have ADHD. Oh yeah, we can all be late. We all forget about times. You just put it on your calendar. You set an alarm. You show up. You pay attention. Do an agenda. Do a timeline. I'm like, yes, I know. I do all of those things, and I can be on time for things, but it's like pulling teeth to be on time for things. It shouldn't be that difficult, but it is. Oh, Rachel's saying quirks is right. It's a nice way of saying craziness, isn't it? Quirks. Peter's saying slumber party at the cottage. LOL. Don't LOL. It's real. It's 2 bedrooms. Yeah, 2 bedrooms. And in the second room, there are 2 separate single beds. In the main room, 1 double. And then in the living room area, you could fit as many sleeping bags as you want. There's like 3 couches there if you're not fancy. None of my friends are fancy, but that would be so cool, wouldn't it? Rachel's saying all of those things and I'm always late. Yeah, so bad. We can do it though, right, Rachel? We do show up on time sometimes. Ali's saying, hey, we have to get on that cottage, girl. I am so down. Let me know. You let me know, Ali. I am going to be off work for the next few months while I get my act together. I've had some exciting news on that front, not from work, but I have been able to get myself some additional mental health support by navigating the system using my MedLab insider knowledge to access as much information as I can. So maybe we can talk about that if the chat's not going crazy. Pam is saying that you're trying to help both your kids who are blind. Time through school was so tough, especially when you had to be there early as a teacher. Oh man, I feel that. When you work at the school and your kids don't show up, that must be awkward, right? Oh, it's such a bizarre thing, time blindness. You look at the time and you know what time it is, and you know how long it's going to take you to get ready and do things, and you just can't make it work. And it even happened earlier today when I was scheduled for Peter's live at 4 o'clock. I should have been there. I could have been there. And I'm sick of making excuses. It feels like I'm constantly making excuses and I want to take accountability. There were choices that I made that made me late. One of the reasons I was as late as I was is because Peter was so understanding about it. And then that kind of sits in my brain as well. But yeah, I find it absolutely bizarre. Like, I know how long I'm on the cross trainer. I know how long it's going to take me to do these weights. I know how long it takes me to drive home. I can do basic math, but I didn't make it on time. And then I didn't even make it for the time I said I would make it. Ugh, so frustrating. Struggle is real, right, Pam? But you know what? You made it, right? Both of your kids are done with school, I believe, now. So that's great. You did it. They did it, but you did it. Rachel's saying, rarely do I show up on time when left to my own devices. Yeah. My husband, however, is always early, so he drags me. And that's not fun for them either, is it? You know, they married us, quirks and all, but they still get frustrated with us. Pam saying that rejection sensitivity makes friendships rather difficult. Yeah. I don't know if I personally struggle with it now, but I think I did. It's amazing what time does for us, right? My kids both struggle mightily, I guess, with RSD. Yeah. It's so hard watching someone you love go through it and knowing the impact it's going to have on their life. Again, I don't want to talk about my kids. They would kill me. But yeah, we see it play out all the time. Ali's saying that her birthday's in October. Maybe you'll just come for a visit then. Imagine that, Ali, because you don't really get the fall like that in Florida. And at the cottage, like the colors of the trees, like you're well, it's around about September actually, like late September, early October that you get to see the fall colors. And it's Thanksgiving in October in Canada as well. Just putting it out there. And Peter's doing the fancy emojis, and I see gym and wine and a clock. So I think I'm getting, I think I'm getting what you're trying to put down there, Peter. Yes, I know. 40 minutes in, I can feel my nose running. I'm gonna have to pull a Daniel. I'm gonna have to. So you just talk amongst yourselves. Ah. Are you running away? Are you going to go upstairs? Come here then. You say bye to everybody and Mummy will let you out. Chewy's leaving. Bye. Oh, no, don't throw up on me. Say bye-bye. Bye. All righty. Thanks for the love, Kelly. I'm guessing it was for Chewy and not for me, but I shall take it because I procured the dog who is still outside the door. What are we going to do? So you know what? Because we don't have too much going here and the ADHD talk, I guess I'm not doing too much of a good thing with that, but I'll just blame that on the ADHD. Are you coming? What are you doing? I'm going to leave the door open. I know you don't understand me. I am going to do another section from my agenda, and that is reading a journal entry. Ugh, an insight into my scary brain. I'll go back to one that I mentioned to Laurie in her live. Kind of inspired me. She inspires us all. Laurie, you inspire us all. And this is from last Wednesday, May 6th. Yeah. It's in the middle of last week. And as usual, I have nightmares basically every single night where I'm obviously just trying to process like what's happened in my life. Are you coming? Why are you driving me nuts, kid? So the entry says that I woke up at 5 a.m. after a dream that my daughter's new friend had broken up with her and that she was so devastated and I was having an overly emotional reaction to that. And I woke up with this like wisdom that I am projecting my experiences onto my daughter and that I want her to take actions towards the life that she wants to live because I want myself to take actions towards the life that I want to live. And I'm portraying that onto her. So with that wisdom, I rolled out of bed. And I wrote down here that I can feel all of the things that I haven't taken action on piling on top of me. It's heavy and it brings me shame. I feel like I should be kind to myself because I know that menopause and ADHD and bipolar have something to do with this. But also, I don't want to let myself off the hook. I need to be accountable. Sound like a broken record, right? And here, Laurie, you made it into my journal. Laurie's wisdom. Write down the future that you want like it's already happened. Maybe it worked out better than you wanted. Take a small action that moves you closer to that reality and feel the new reality. Feel the reality that it worked out. Feel yourself in that situation. That is golden. When you can put yourself, if you have a good imagination, as I do, when you can put yourself in that situation where everything worked out better than you could have imagined, you feel such a weight drop away. and your energy raises, and it's that raised energy that's going to attract the future that you want. I wish I could hold on to that feeling, but I almost, as soon as I get there and I feel amazing, I can almost feel like that energy leaking away. And I heard somebody talking about that you can have energy leaks where you can't hold on to something that's good for you. And until I figure out how to stop those leaks, I have to keep putting myself into that situation. Maybe I should just keep listening to Laurie on repeat, or like Sally did, just go and get Laurie. Go to Laurie and have her there to remind you of those things. I have to keep reminding myself of those things. I put here that we have more power than we think we do. And that morning, I went outside to kind of ground myself. And I looked up and I said, Dear Lord, thank you for this strong body and strong mind so I can reach my goals. And then, as I always do when I'm kind of using my spirit and my faith, I feel like warm, soft feeling inside. Oh, it feels so good. So there you go. That's my journal entry. Apart from that, I always write down my sleep score that I tracked on my Apple Watch. Didn't write it down that day. I had my morning glass of water. That is you, Sally. That's all you. Drinking that water every day and telling us to hydrate. That is what's gotten me the last, I think it's probably close to a week now. Wednesday I did it. And today is Monday. I've done it every day. Drunk a glass of water, and that's you. So thank you, Sally. And I write down my weight, which is kind of depressing. But it's just a metric. It's just a number, right? Laurie should have a spiritual retreat. Could we afford it, Peter? I hope so. I'm saying that's a beautiful picture then. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome. I'm glad. I'm glad it was meaningful. Moving on. I really wanted to do an emotional freedom technique practice, tapping. I don't know what is stopping me. Maybe because I look silly, but we all look silly. I just read out my freaking journal. What is sillier than that? I have a real thing about not giving out information or doing something that is not true or not 100% coming from the source. And obviously I didn't create tapping. I didn't create emotional freedom technique. And it just feels strange to me to kind of demonstrate that in this fractured, weird way instead of just giving you a reference to someone else. It's one of the reasons that today I signed up for Ecamm Live, which is a streaming software that Laura uses actually on her live streams. And it means you can bring things up onto the screen. So instead of just looking at me and not having the comments on the screen or being able to view previous videos or see images on the screen, I'll be able to do those things. So what I would love to do is just to, even if I recorded myself doing the tapping and actually giving you the correct information at the time, I could put that on the screen and we could talk through it together. That would be so much better. And that's hopefully something I can do for the next live stream because I signed up for that today and I really want to get on that. But tapping is a really simple way also of grounding yourself, like feeling the your physical touch on your body instead of being in your head. So the premise is that you touch all of these like chakras where the energy can be released, and you repeat phrases and kind of cycle through. Can't remember. You just feel the energy releasing, and then you're constantly saying the thing that's bothering you, and it tends to reduce the amount of pain, physical, psychological pain around that emotion. So it's something I keep talking about and don't do, and that's one of the negative voices that's in my head every day, Jen. You talk too much, Jen. You just don't take action. Well, you know what, silly voice? I still showed up here today, didn't I? And I'm gonna work there. And Laurie's saying again that she loves tapping. Please share with us. Oh, Laurie, the peer pressure. Rachel is saying that she was a massage therapist for well over 20 years and that tapping is incredibly powerful. Rachel, do you want to do it on your channel? Ah. I'm sorry, Laurie. I shouldn't be apologizing because one of the phrases that we use in tapping is even though insert negative emotion, I deeply and completely accept myself. I am tired of saying negative things about myself and apologizing for myself because as long as I'm doing that, I can't take accountability and agency for my actions. I am going to be kind to myself. So even though I don't feel comfortable to do a round of tapping on this live stream, I deeply and completely accept myself. Laurie thinks that if I did a tapping video, it would be viewed highly. Do you think so? I've seen some people do them and they haven't hit, they haven't done well. And I feel like I want to support those people instead of doing my own video. But Laurie, you know how much I love you and respect you and believe that you have my best interest at heart. I would love to do that for you. The voices are loud. The voices in my head are loud. But it is 52 minutes into my live stream. And my little agenda here says that I should be doing my optimistic close. And me focusing on the fact that I am not following through with what I wanted to do, and I'm not giving what I am being asked or wanted to give. That makes me feel icky and gross inside. But I am staying true to myself, and I have to be good with that. And I know you respect that, Laurie. So, onto the optimistic close, a final empowering or encouraging thought to close the live. I am going to talk about the fact that today is probably only the second time in the last month that I've put together a plan for my day. So I had like a timeline down the vertical axis, and then along the horizontal axis, I split my day up into time frames. And in there, I entered certain things that I was going to do. Even me doing that is progress. And embracing those things about ourselves is so encouraging. It shows you what you're capable of doing. And I think this is one of the few times where the effort really does matter. It's not just the outcome. And I was able to have a much more fruitful day. I got things done in there, which I haven't been able to do in a really long time. So I got my morning routine done. I cleaned up the kitchen. I drank my water. I recorded my weight. I wrote in my journal. I went on to my school community and connected with people. That's really important to me. I connected with friends as well today, real people friends, not just my YouTube awesome community friends. And I made plans. So meeting with a friend for coffee tomorrow who's just gone through surgery. So I'm going to meet her, going to her house for a cup of tea. I am going to see a friend. Let me think. I think I overcommitted myself. Yes, I did. Tomorrow morning, one friend. Tomorrow afternoon, a second friend. I'm going to go there and catch up with them, learn all about their new job, which is really exciting. And then on Wednesday, I am driving to see another friend who lives alone and struggles with just the way that the world, the way that society is going. So um, I do I am sacrificing some of my own time, but I feel really good about that. So I made all those connections today and managed to what did I manage to do? Come on, Jenny. Uplifting and empowering. Leave people with something good to help them. Talking about yourself in the third person. I'm not crazy. Oh, the tea is cold. Cold, but still good. What else did I do today? I reached out to Peter and organized today's live stream. I went and got some household things done, some chores done. I empowered my daughter to make dinner tonight, and she's up there preparing a meal, which gives her a lot of self esteem. And I feel good about that because that's not a comfortable conversation for me to have. But I took control, and it's had a positive impact on the future. And I believe that any one of us can do those things. Take a tiny action that has a big impact. So all those things are really great. And got my son to the gym, did a workout myself. I was late, but still got there for Peter's live stream. And the most impressive thing for me of all is showing up here tonight and making this, because I don't have to do this. No one's going to knock on my door and find me if I don't do this. And coming up here and coming down here and making this video and doing it for a whole hour and staying true to something that's for me, I have to believe that that's a positive step for my future. And again, it wouldn't be the same without all of you showing up for me. So I so appreciate that. And I'm losing steam a little bit. So I'm gonna head out, and I hope you all have a great rest of your week. As Scott would say, win the week. You all know what that means. I'm not going to be able to do as good of a job on that. And I'll see you on the streets of YouTube, right, Laurie? Take care, everyone. Much love. Bye.